Truth Unveiled here, and today I'm going to be talking about cloning centers and cloning in general. Now, I'm also going to be talking about the real agenda behind this and why this is so important and why this has been kept a secret all along and why you need to know about this and really start to see what's going on. Now, rapper B.O.B. exposes human cloning and cloned celebrities. I've also done videos about him with the flat earth, but I really want to talk about cloning centers today, and this is according to the Afro Lounge. Credits to the Afro Lounge for this article, but it basically says that cloning has been public knowledge since 1997 when Dolly the sheep was cloned. Now, don't get it twisted, they've been cloning well before that. I'm just going to keep going. According to Science Daily, she was cloned at the Roslin Institute in Midlothian, Scotland, and lived there until her death when she was 6 years old. Her birth was announced on February 22nd, 1997. The sheep was originally codenamed 6LL3. The name Dolly came from a suggestion by the stockman who helped with her birth in honor of Dolly Parton. At least that's what they want us to believe, because it was a mammary cell that was cloned. The technique was made famous by her birth is somatic cell nuclear transfer, in which a cell is placed in a denucleated ovum. The two cells fuse and then develop into an embryo. Now notice they're not telling you who is behind this cloning. Now, of course, they call it a conspiracy theorist, but they say humans have been cloned since the 1940s but was kept confidential. This is no conspiracy. This is true, and I'm going to tell you what the agenda is in a minute. But it keeps going to say the first cloned human embryo to be reported to the public was in 2013. Scientists say it's unlikely for the cloned embryo to develop into a human, but conspiracy theorists are not buying into it. They ask how the scientists are able to clone a sheep but not a human. Well, what's the agenda? Let's keep going. A man named Donald Marshall, and he releases some very, very hardcore truth. And I'm going to leave his website below, a link for his website that you should check out. Released a very detailed letter via the internet back in 2012 with claims that he was cloned as a child at age 5 and used as a song and sex slave. He makes claims that his clone would be beat and tortured to entertain top entertainment and politically powerful people. He also claims that popular actor and comedian Bernie Mac was murdered because he spoke out against the torture. What happened to Bernie Mac? Bernie Mac started seeing all the cloning that was going on, and because of that, he started to talk about it. He started to see the cloning centers and the cloning labs, and he kept saying, we need to get this information out there. But Steve Harvey was like, nah, bro, you ain't finna get this out there. So they had to turn off his chip. They had to kill him, basically. Yes, celebrities are chipped, and it's only a matter of time until they bring the chipping here. So it goes on to talk about Donald Marshall, but what I wanted to show you, actually, if you can see them, and I'll leave a link for this below, but basically about B.O.B.'s tweets that he tweeted last December about cloning, and even in November as well. He says, notice a celebrity who have tattoos or piercings mysteriously vanish equals cloning center. When a celebrity in great health suddenly suffered a stroke, heart attack, or aneurysm, cloning center. Hundreds of kids go missing each year, cloning center. Every time you see a celebrity so-called randomly losing their mind, cloning center. Where I can think of two instances where that happened, where a celebrity randomly lost their mind. One, Britney Spears, when she was on with Diane Sawyer talking about Justin Timberlake. The second is when Tom Cruise was on the Oprah show back in, I believe, 2005. Hello, they are cloned. In order to even get to those levels and become a celebrity, you have to be cloned. That is true. And what most likely happens is, either if they don't take you and kill you and make a clone out of you, they take you and place you under heavy subliminal hypnosis where you can't even think for yourself. I know this sounds crazy, but I'm going to tell you why they're doing this and why they are keeping it a secret from you. Now, it's no surprise that a mainstream media source like BET, another alphabet soup, would consider this and call this a conspiracy theory. Any time that a mainstream media source calls something a conspiracy theory, that should wake you up to truth, because they are trying to cover up truth. And B.O.B. has been speaking about a lot of truth. You can watch my Flat Earth video, but for the sake of time, I'm going to keep going. It says, with his record label neglecting him and a new mixtape out, it seems that B.O.B.'s brain hasn't been focused solely on music. Bobby Ray indulged his 2.2 million Twitter followers, Slakia, and a round of cloning center conspiracy theories, or at least that's what they want us to believe today, while everybody else was busy talking about the Grammys. It says, every time you see a celebrity randomly lose their mind, cloning center, we talked about that with Tom Cruise and Britney Spears, hundreds of kids go missing each year, cloning center. I did a video on Queen Elizabeth and how hundreds of kids just go missing randomly every single year around England and definitely around the Vatican. Why is that? And by the way, your government plays a role in that too. CIA, FBI, they play a role with what? Human trafficking, child trafficking. This is nothing new. It also says when a celebrity in great health suddenly suffered a stroke, heart attack, aneurysm, cloning center. Who can you think of that? Michael Jackson. Oh yeah. Let's keep going. Notice a celebrity who have tattoos or piercings mysteriously vanish, cloning center. What is he trying to get at? Why is he even telling us this? Because he wants us to start seeing the truth, because there's a real agenda at hand, and because, like he even said in one of his tweets, he's going up against some of the biggest liars of all time. What are they lying about? You're about to find out now. Now, if you thought B.O.B. was the only one talking about cloning centers, think again, because Tila Tequila actually talks about it too. And she goes into detail about the government and how she was a clone as well. And in this tweet, she says, F the government is blasting me with frequencies again. My right arm just melted by. Now, to a lot of you, that might sound crazy. However, what is the government do? What does the government do after they clone you? Why do they even clone you in the first place? Mind control. They want to control your mind. They want to control you as a person. They want to control you so that you can follow their orders and be subservient to them. Mind control, slavery. Kanye West says that we are the new slaves. What is he talking about? He's talking about the system. He's talking about your lovely government. He's talking about cloning. Because that is what they do. After they clone you, they what? They put a chip in you and then they control everything you do, even your subconscious. That is how they're doing it. But there's even something more nefarious behind that. You thought that was bad. It gets even worse. Then Tila Tequila makes this very startling tweet, which says, I'm the only celeb not afraid of the so-called the others, so I speak the truth. That's how I got killed in 2012 and became a clone. Why would Tila Tequila say that just as B.O.B. does? Huh. Are you starting to see the agenda behind this? And then, of course, what does mainstream media do? They act like that they're crazy and that they don't know what they're talking about. And this source says from the Frisky, who are the others? Are they like the Illuminati? Also, how does one become a clone of themselves? Because they want you to think that cloning doesn't exist. They want you to think that these cloning centers and cloning labs don't exist. They want you to think that the underground cloning centers are not real when they are in fact are. They want you to think this stuff is crazy because there is an agenda behind all this. What is that agenda? I'm going to tell you what it is because you need to see what is really going on here. You need to see what your government is doing and planning on doing and just who they are working with. It has nothing to do with cloning, but it's interesting because she says, remember when back in the days people just ate like maybe one boar a week if they were lucky, and now everyone eats entire Walmarts? Why would she mention Walmart? If you have not seen my Walmart video and the real reason they are closing Walmarts, please do, because that is what she is getting at here. Then she says, just shut up and take more vaccines and become even more handicapped than y'all already are. See, you all need to understand the agenda behind all this, behind vaccines, behind these cloning centers. What are they doing? Mind control. What is all of this for? They are trying to control you in every single way that they can. Soon to enforce this RFID technology chip so that they can see and control and monitor your every move. Because that is the only way that they can establish what? Tyranny. Just like World War II. Just like Stalin and Hitler and FDR, nothing has changed. Nothing was new under the sun. But then she talks about this. She says, in 2012, after I died, I was replaced with the clone, aka me now, and was microchipped and was activated after the fallout of 2013 and 2015. Did you see what this says? Microchip. I just told you earlier, all celebrities are in fact chipped. In order to get to the level of Tila Tequila, B.O.B. and some other celebrities, in fact, practically all of them, you have to be chipped, take the orders and direction from the government, and submit yourself to mind control. That is what you have to do. What you are looking at when you see celebrities, you are looking at their clones. You're looking at their synthetics. That is what you're looking at. And if you can't see it, then You have to see it now because there is a big agenda, and she even tells you what it is. Do you understand why you are all under mind control? Because if you were free to think for yourselves, you wouldn't be able to. If you were free to think for yourself, you wouldn't have to let your government think for you. If you were free to think for yourself, you wouldn't have to believe everything NASA tells you, and you'd be able to accept the flat earth even more. Like I said, I'm not trying to be facetious here. I'm trying to let you know, though, that there is an agenda going on. They put an illusion to make you think that you're free, to make you think that everything is hunky-dory, that you can think for yourself, when really you are subservient to the government and don't even know it, especially if you still watch the alphabet soups like CNN, Fox, ABC, CBS, because it's even been proven that they not only lie on the news, but they use propaganda in order to make you what? Think a certain way. Why would they do that? Mind control, because they want you to think a certain way in order to do what? Heed to their standards, heed to what they say, their controlled solution to their caused problems. And Tila Tequila has told you a whole lot, and lot of truth. And I will leave this link below so that you can come here and do the research on your own if you do not believe any of this. The only one. No, it's also Donald Marshall as well. He also comes out and admit this truth as well. He even backs up Tila Tequila's claim that she's a clone. And like I said, I'll leave the links below so you can check out this stuff for yourself. And he even talks about being held in a cloning station run by Queen Elizabeth and the British royal family. Are you starting to hear this? It is all subliminal. And this even, according to Marshall, it says human cloning began around the end of World War II and allows human consciousness to be transferred between clone bodies, but it's a flawed technology and the minds of clones can be damaged. He was commissioned by the Illuminati to write modern hit pop songs, including tracks by Britney Spears, and she is also cloned as well. That's not the real Britney Spears who you are looking at. World politicians and entertainers gather at secret under, this one's important, and I'm going to highlight it actually. World politicians and entertainers gather at secret underground military bases and watch gladiator fights among clones. They also engage in sex with the clones and torture them. That includes clones of children. Yes, this goes on. And I'm going to tell you what the agenda is. And it tells you right here. The Illuminati have forged an alliance with the ancient race of parasitic lizards, the Vril, aka who? The offspring of the fallen angels. Yes, that's right. The Nephilim. Nothing new under the sun. This was going on in the time of Enoch. This was going on even in the book of the Barashith or Genesis. Nothing new under the sun. I'm not going to even click that image because I don't want to see it, but you can come see it for yourself as like a little surprise. And if you thought they were the only ones, think again, because yes, Nicki Minaj also comes out with this information of cloning. And this was recent, actually. This was just last week. But it says, Nicki Minaj makes bizarre tweet about cloning, hashtag stop human cloning. And it says, on a hip hop vibe. Recently, fans on hip hop message boards have pointed out how strangely celebrities have been acting. See how they want to make it seem like celebrities are strange and out of their mind? No, they're starting to tell you truth because they're getting tired of the government's nefarious agenda. They're getting tired of the so-called fallen angels, the Nephilim, the Vrils, the lizards, doing these nefarious things. They are tired of it, and now they're about to come out with truth, because that is what we're waiting for. But basically, several artists have made unusual comments on Twitter. There was plenty of discussion about how odd they're acting. They have to make you seem like that it's odd. I'm telling you what is going on. Mind control. They want you to think that this is all a game. Nicki Minaj always used being eccentric as a part of her style, but if she's currently upset, she has a valid reason to be. Her boyfriend Meek Mill is in the midst of beefing with Drake and 50 Cent, her label mate and a fellow rapper from her community. Can you see how they're trying to make the problem seem like she's like, oh, there's something going on in her personal life, so maybe that's why she's saying this. But what did she say? My tears have dried, and I know that no weapon formed against me will prosper, searching for people who can relate. Hashtag stop human cloning. Why would she say that? By the way, I believe this tweet was deleted off of her Twitter because Twitter is censoring almost all these celebrities who are coming out with truth. Because what did censor do with B.O.B.'s page? They censored all of his flat earth truth and evidence to prove the flat earth. but you can't see it anymore because they censored it. You can watch my BOB Illuminati Flat Earth video for more. Why am I telling you all this? What's the agenda? Are you ready for the secret? Actually, Donald Marshall already told you. Virals, lizards, the fallen angels are working underground with your government right now, even as we speak, to do what? Mind control. To establish their new world order, to establish what? Their kingdom, the Tower of Babel. You can watch my Economics cover 2016 where they even put a tower on the cover with a man standing on top. But the only way they can do that is if they limit free thought. They don't want free thinking. They don't want you to think for yourself. They want to do the thinking for you so that they can fulfill their nefarious agenda. And they're working with your government right now in order to do this. They have been working with Hitler in order to establish that nefarious space program, NASA, which has shown you all those lovely photoshopped images of planets, which you still believe are true. Anyway, but what else are they doing? Now they are about to establish their new world order and about to show and reveal themselves. And when they show themselves, yes, the fallen angels, yes, Satan himself, you are going to think that they are out of this world. You're going to think that they're aliens. You're going to think that they have not been here before and that you have to bow down to them. And what is your government going to do? They're going to say, oh my goodness, aliens. Oh, we have to fight this threat and merge as a new world order. Because of mind control, and you're going to buy into it if you don't see the warning signs ahead of time. Now, what's the good thing about this? The good thing is that judgment is even at the door. Satan knows that judgment is at the door. He even knows that his time is almost up. But what does he has to do? He has to keep you under mind control long enough so you don't start to see the truth, so you don't start to do the research for yourself, so you can continue to believe what your government tells you. Your satanic government, more than half of which are cloned, more than half of which eat poop and do other disgusting demonic satanic Freemason rituals, more than half of which are involved with the Illuminati, more than half of which participate in drug trafficking, human trafficking, sex trafficking, and child trafficking. But you will never know unless you start to do the research on yourself. Seek Yahuwah and his true son, Yahusha, your Passover lamb, so that what? You can start to wake up. You can be delivered. Come out of her, my people. Come out of Babylon. I'm telling you, you are living in a dream. You are living in a fantasy. It's time to wake up. Wake up fast, because time is running out. Judgment is even at the door. But hopefully this has been helpful for you. Hopefully you'll start doing the research on your own if you haven't. But yes, cloning is real. These cloning centers do exist. And I hope you will see for yourself. This is Truth Unveiled here. Shalom.